Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today, it's going to be a 2v1 in a replay pack that I got from TeamLiquid.net, their forums. It just says it's going to be sAviOr versus two girls. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. So top right, we have sAviOr playing Terran as Teal. And he's giving himself a handicap of 2 less workers than the other players start with. Alright, so I googled these names, right? So this is a brown Zerg player named Ginny, and in the bottom left we have an orange Zerg player named Hyo. I'm hopefully saying that correctly, but a quick Google search of those names in the Brood War stuff revealed no results. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but this replay was in the pack, and female representation in StarCraft is very hard to come by. So we'll see how these two girls do against sAviOr off-racing as Terran. Wow. Also, sAviOr is giving himself the handicap of not having an SCV working. Anywho, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work out. It's a 2v1, but basically, since I've never heard of these other two players, I feel like sAviOr has a supreme advantage over them, right? I mean, it's not because they're girls, but if it was sAviOr versus me and like another player whose name is not coming up when you Google Brood War and their name, I figure that sAviOr would stop both of us, right? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how this thing goes. I'm interested to see how it works anyway. Let's see. Both players. Wow. Both players went for hatch first. And look, we're not even walling off. If they both just 6-pooled, like they both just went for super fast lings, I think sAviOr just dies. Because he's not walling, right? Not at all. I mean, maybe this is part of the play. He's like, alright, I promise. I'm not going to wall, but you guys can't 6-pool me. You have to go hatch first, and then from there do whatever you want. I don't know. It's just, it's interesting they're both going the gosh darn exact same builds here. Going for those pools, the extractors. A couple more workers coming in from Hyo here rather than what Ginny is going for. They're from the Rual clan, which, again, no indication of what that is. SCV is counting to see where the Zerg opponents are. Goes to the one place the Zerg players do not exist, which is honestly kind of funny. And ooh, didn't actually go up the ramp. It's like, okay, look, if it was a pool first play, Lings would already be out, and I would know about it. So the fact that there's not a hatch here and there's no Lings out tells me this is not a place. Smart job by sAviOr. On the other side, there are some Lings coming in from Ginny, 2 of them to be exact. Hyo has no Zerglings to speak of, just going for, wow, quick third hatch here. Still no Zerglings. It's like, well, sAviOr won't kill me with his 1 SCV, right? He could, though. SCVs have 60 HP, man. They're beefy. They do 5 damage per attack. Okay, everything does 5 damage per attack, but they are beefy. They win fights. And again, I think sAviOr's like, alright, I'm not going to kill you with my early SCV either. I don't know. I don't know if there are any rules at all, or this is just how they're choosing to play with complete freedom and no restrictions whatsoever. But there is a lair coming up sub 4 minutes here out of Hyo. On the other side, Ginny's doing the exact same thing, a little bit tiny bit later, perhaps. And sAviOr just doing classical Terran stuff. He knows. We actually had a lot of off-racing on the channel recently. And once again, just the important thing to remember here is that just because somebody is an elite top-level Zerg player, which sAviOr was, means he doesn't know how to play Terran. That's not how this works. He knows how to play Terran. He knows how to play Protoss. He knows how to play every match, or every matchup, from every perspective, right? You can't be around StarCraft this much and not know how to play StarCraft from all perspectives. You just, no. Everybody, every high-level Zerg player in the world, and who's ever been a high-level Zerg player, knew how to do this and knows how to do this at some level. So, anyway, point is, I like the macro hatch out of Hugh. We are not taking the second gas yet, so this is going to be like 5 Mutalisks. Ginny does have the extractor. Spire's on the way, but is not saturating the extractor yet. Which, again, if you want to go for a ton of Mutalisks, you can. You absolutely can. It's just, oh, and a Hydralisk Den from Hyo. Okay. So, okay. So I think it's probably going to be that Hyo's going to focus on lurkers here, and Jinny's going to go for the Mutalisks, right? Because if you show up with both of those in good numbers, it's really hard for the Terran to hold that. They can kind of prepare for one thing, but not necessarily the other, you know? You want to get maybe a couple tanks out to deal with the lurkers, but the tanks aren't good versus Mutalisks, and you want to pick Marines versus the Mutas, but Marines aren't good versus the lurkers. So it's a tough position to be in here. Do we want to go for a third base? This gets a little bit dicey, because I think both players here probably... I mean, especially for Jinny, your third base on this map, you probably want to take it down here or over here. And you can't because those places are occupado. But now, third base here, maybe. Might do that. Jinny takes this base at the 9 o'clock, and then the 6 o'clock will go to Hyo, or maybe down here, or we'll see. We'll see what the third base expansion attempts are. Or maybe we just go for a 2-base style attack and call it good. Now, here's the trick about lurkers. You can deal with them if all you have are Marines and Medics and Stim, right? Especially if you have the range upgrade. It's just you have to have amazing control, and that's something that sAviOr probably has with his Marines, because again, he's a Zerg player, and his control is insanely good anyway. So let's see. Oh, both players actually going for lurker aspect. Wow. All right. Pull back. Fight with the Sunkens. No, Jinny. Jinny. Fight with the Sunkens. No. Okay. Pro tip number 2. I don't know what number it is. Whatever of the day. Fight with the Sunkens. Right? If you're getting attacked and you have Sunkens, fight with them. If you're getting attacked and you have photon cannons, fight with those. Don't let them sit just out of range of helping you in the fight. Basically, if there's a Sunken or 2 Sunkens here and some Link supporting it, then sAviOr doesn't get anything done there and he has to pull back. Which he's doing anyway. He's like, well, I won that fight pretty handily. And these Lings came into view, so we'll kill them as well. And I think this is officially like 12 Zerglings down and no Marines killed thus far. Maybe one went down, I don't know. Hard to say. Macro hatch coming in from Jinny. The orange Zerg players got some Lings out here too. And 3 Sunkens, and a wall with an evolution chamber here. So they're 2 base in it. Don't come in here. No, man. I mean, not all the Zerglings died. That's good, but only 2 of them made it home, so that's not great. Lurkers, though. I promise, Lurkers will help you a lot in this game. Zerg players, who I'm rooting for because you are Zerg players. And you're the underdogs. I naturally tend to root for underdogs in every competitive situation. It's just more fun. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's because I was raised in a place that doesn't have super winning sports franchises. And so I identify more with teams that lose than teams that win all the time and win championships all the time, you know? So a bunch of lurkers are out here from Jinny. Love that stuff. Couple lurkers out here from Hyo defending with hers, which again, Jinny's doing the same thing. These lurkers are not moving out in the time being. Where did they... Wait. Did you hear that burrowing sound? Where did they burrow? Oh, here. That is a really, really not useful place to burrow, unless maybe you're trying to hide them from a scan. As we hear scans coming in here from sAviOr, so I don't know. sAviOr's just going 8 racks, right? 8 racks. Ooh, a dropship. I was going to say, probably going to go for some of them science vessels, and we will, but not before a dropship comes out. Drops can be very damaging and powerful in the hands of a player who is higher level than those who they are dropping, as we all know. So I would recommend at this point, honestly, go the teamwork, right? Oh, the teamwork is happening. Okay, so 2 players making lurkers. Showing up at your front door. That might be more lurkers than this Marine ball can handle. But we do have the tanks out, so those are going to help a little bit. Obviously. Hit that like button if you're enjoying what we're seeing so far. This is turning into a pretty dicey situation for sAviOr. These tanks don't have siege. I'm fairly sure that's the case. Have not been watching that production tab super duper closely, but until they siege up, I will assume they are not capable of sieging. Ooh, the Defiler already on the way here from Hyo. Nicely done. All right, so we jump on this. The scan's up. The lurkers are burrowing out. One lurker dies instantly. Yep, this is not... No, this is not good. Not going well. Lings donating themselves to the cause, and then the tanks outrange the lurkers. And even if they're not sieged, it doesn't matter. They outrange. Oh, you ran out of scan there. Okay, some more. Oh, it's more lurkers. Defilers coming in. Consumes on the way. This is so close to being super viable for Team Zerg. Burrow. Burrow or run. Like, lurkers either need to be running away or they need to be burrowing. Those are the options. You can't just be standing there. Meanwhile, this drop is doing some work. Like, a ton of work all of a sudden. Drone count for Ginny's down to 9 after all this. It's another drone killed. The spawning pool likely going to die here as well. Just pushing strong. You have the consume. You have the consume. Hey, there's the Dark Swarm. All right, so the Dark Swarm is up, which is going to force, you know, a bit of a rezone here from sAviOr. Good, another Dark Swarm there as well. This group is still up here and causing problems. Medic ran out of energy, unfortunately. So we head down south. It's like, all right, look. Scourge getting killed. We made some Scourge to try to deal with the science vessels, absolutely, but this is just too much, right? Oh, I mean, the buildings aren't protected by the Dark Swarm anyway, but these Lings certainly are. Defiler, consume, throw down another Dark Swarm. Hurry, no! Splash got him. Splash got the Defiler, not good. Very, very bad, in fact. Irradiate's getting researched. These buildings are falling very quickly. The front wall dying. These units need to come down and assist. The help is not coming right now from Hyo's own units, nevertheless. It's another drop. That's another drop. If at first you don't succeed killing your opponent with a drop, try again. So Lurker getting a bunch of kills, but eventually picked up out of the ground here. Drop coming in to where Ginny has about 10 total drones, and now it's less than that. Officially down to 8. Yeah, so Hyo losing the second base. These lurkers doing all right, but yeah, doing really well. Get up in that minimum attack range. Scan. Ugh. This lurker doing all right. Ginny throwing out. Oh, this is Ginny's lurker throwing out some smack talk against sAviOr here. Okay, all right. This drop is still doing stuff. Yeah, we're down to 2 drones now. Maybe it wasn't smack talk from Ginny. Maybe it was my entire economy is in shambles. Now I feel bad about the way things happened. Lurker down. Ginny throwing out some kind of question. I don't know what it is. Alright, Lings and Dark Swarm are doing some work down here at Hyo's base, but totally lost the natural. Man, Lings are they're so good inside Dark Swarm and so bad outside of it. So bad in those numbers against this much stuff, obviously. 1-1's done here for sAviOr. This is 2 Defilers and a Dream at the moment. A couple of Lings out here, too. I mean, is this another drop? What did some stuff? Ginny's at 2 drones, but that's been the case pretty much for the last little while. sAviOr decides to wander in with 3 entirely undefended science vessels. Which, not generally how you do things, but hey, we caught a Defiler to insta-kill. Effectively. We irradiated this lurker. And Hydralisks against Marine Tank are not usually going to work out super well. But the Lings, get rid of the tanks. You get rid of the tanks, but the numbers are not looking good, right? sAviOr's at 128 supply, Hyo's at 38, and Ginny's at 16, and that's it, man. The Zergs do tap out there in 14 minutes, and that is literally all she wrote. All right, well, I mean, I don't know what else we expected when we pulled up this replay. sAviOr against 2 no-name anybodies is just going to be a crushing. This was a foregone conclusion. It was even off racing, right? Even off racing. You take the top 20 players in the world, make them play a race they don't main, and go against unknowns, they're going to win. It's just all there is to it. End of discussion. Yeah, he's even making 3 more factories, like maybe going for more of a mech transition here, which would be fine. Not going to complain about it, but just 2 bases, 15 minutes, marine tank, some science vessel at the end there. That's all you really need. Great stim, got the medics in there. The siege tanks were great, and yeah, third base timings were late. Teamwork not that good. I liked the fast arc swarm out of Hyo. I really did. It's just if you're using it in the middle of the map, it's much less effective than if you're using it like here. Right? You can sneak up, maybe over this way, and dark swarm this front door, and then get your lurkers and your lings in there. Then suddenly sAviOr's in trouble. You're harming his economy. You're threatening the second base. But if you're dark swarming out here, then sAviOr just kind of moves out of the way, right? Just kind of dodges it. So, and again, dark swarm defending your sunken's not going to go well because buildings aren't protected by the dark swarm, which again, lore-wise makes no sense, but for purposes of game balance, it totally does. So good game, sAviOr. Just kind of doing normal Terran stuff. Gets the win there with about double the APM. Almost triple the APM of the players he was playing against here in Hyo and Jinny. End of the day, Hyo produced more units than sAviOr did. Jinny struggled again because the economy was garbage after a certain point in this game. But that 187 to 60 kill ratio is pretty good. Yeah, well, it didn't lose a single Terran building either. The resources are about even for sAviOr and Hyo here. Just more minerals, though. Way more spent. Way more spent from sAviOr there. Spending his money very, very well, as, again, a high-level player would do. So, all right. Yeah, kind of an interesting little cast for y'all. I had somebody request that I cast this replay, so I did. And, again, outcome expected. All right, so that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered, and a bit of a weird replay today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.